Have you ever woken up in the morning and checked your blood sugar, only to find it mysteriously higher than when you went to bed the night before? You didn't sneak into the kitchen for a midnight snack. You didn't eat anything after dinner. Yet somehow, your glucose levels climbed while you were peacefully sleeping. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and more importantly, you're not imagining things. What I'm about to share with you today could be the missing piece in your blood sugar management puzzle. For the next hour, we're going to explore 7 scientifically backed teas that can work like gentle nighttime warriors, helping to stabilize your blood sugar while you sleep. These aren't just folk remedies passed down through generations, though some certainly have that rich history. These are teas with real research behind them, studies conducted on real people dealing with real blood sugar challenges, just like you might be facing. But before we dive into these 7 powerful allies, let me paint you a picture of what's really happening in your body during those quiet nighttime hours. Your body doesn't just shut down when you sleep. In fact, it's incredibly busy performing maintenance, repair, and regulation tasks that are crucial for your health. One of the most important of these is blood sugar regulation, and it's far more complex than most people realize. Between the hours of 3 and 8 in the morning, your body experiences what researchers call the dawn phenomenon. This is when your liver, acting like a concerned parent, starts releasing stored glucose to give you energy for the day ahead. It's a natural process that's been hardwired into human physiology for thousands of years. Our ancestors needed that burst of energy to hunt, gather, and survive. But in our modern world, where most of us wake up to sit at a desk rather than chase down our breakfast, this glucose release can cause problems, especially for those already dealing with blood sugar issues. Add to this the fact that your body's natural circadian rhythms affect insulin sensitivity. Research shows that insulin sensitivity naturally decreases in the evening and reaches its lowest point in the early morning hours. This means your body is less efficient at processing glucose during these times, making blood sugar spikes more likely and more persistent. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. The quality and duration of your sleep directly impacts your blood sugar control. Poor sleep, fragmented sleep, or insufficient sleep can increase insulin resistance, raise cortisol levels, and disrupt the delicate hormonal balance that keeps your glucose levels stable. It's a vicious cycle where high blood sugar can disrupt sleep, and poor sleep can worsen blood sugar control. But what if I told you that the simple act of sipping the right tea before bed could help break this cycle? What if these 7 teas could work as your overnight blood sugar support team, helping to calm your system, improve your sleep quality, and provide your body with natural compounds that support healthy glucose metabolism? The teas we're going to explore today have been chosen based on 3 critical criteria. First, they must be naturally caffeine-free or very low in caffeine, because the last thing you want is to be wide awake at 2 in the morning. Second, they must have scientific research supporting their potential benefits for blood sugar management. And third, they must be readily available and easy to prepare, because the best remedy in the world is useless if you can't actually use it. Over the next hour, we'll not only explore each of these 7 teas in detail, but I'll also show you how to create a simple 7-day rotation that can become part of your evening routine. We'll discuss proper preparation methods, optimal timing, potential interactions you should know about, and how to track your results so you can see the real impact these teas might have on your morning glucose readings. Let me be crystal clear about something from the start. This information is for educational purposes only. These teas are not meant to replace any medication or treatment plan you might be following. If you're taking medication for diabetes or blood sugar control, always consult with your healthcare provider before making significant changes to your routine. Some of these teas can interact with medications, and your doctor needs to know what you're taking. Now, let's begin our journey through these 7 remarkable teas, starting with one that's probably sitting in many of your kitchen cabinets right now, yet you might never have realized its potential for blood sugar support. Tea number 1. Chamomile, the gentle evening guardian. When most people think of chamomile tea, they think of relaxation and sleep, and they're absolutely right to make that connection. But what many don't realize is that this gentle, honey-scented herb has been quietly impressing researchers with its potential benefits for blood sugar management. Chamomile, scientifically known as Matricaria chamomilla, contains a powerful compound called apigenin. This flavonoid is what gives chamomile many of its therapeutic properties, and research suggests it may play a significant role in glucose metabolism. But here's what makes chamomile particularly interesting for our nighttime blood sugar support protocol. It works on multiple levels simultaneously. First, let's talk about the sleep connection. Poor sleep is one of the most underestimated factors in blood sugar management. When you don't sleep well, your body produces more cortisol, the stress hormone. Elevated cortisol levels directly contribute to insulin resistance and can cause your liver to release more glucose into your bloodstream. It's like having a double dose of the dawn phenomenon. A study published in the journal Molecular Medicine reports followed people with type 2 diabetes who drank chamomile tea daily for 8 weeks. The results were remarkable. Not only did participants report better sleep quality, but their HbA1c levels, which measure average blood sugar over several months, showed significant improvement. Their insulin resistance markers also improved, suggesting that their bodies were becoming more efficient at processing glucose. But chamomile's benefits don't stop at better sleep. The apigenin in chamomile appears to have direct effects on glucose metabolism. Laboratory studies have shown that apigenin can help improve insulin sensitivity at the cellular level. Think of insulin as a key that unlocks your cells to allow glucose to enter. When you have insulin resistance, it's like the locks on your cells have become rusty and harder to open. Apigenin appears to help oil those locks, making them more responsive to insulin's key. Another fascinating aspect of chamomile is its anti-inflammatory properties. Chronic low-grade inflammation is increasingly recognized as a major factor in insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. The inflammatory compounds circulating in your bloodstream can interfere with insulin signaling, making it harder for your cells to respond appropriately to glucose. Chamomile's anti-inflammatory compounds may help reduce this background inflammation, creating a more favorable environment for healthy blood sugar regulation. The timing of when you drink chamomile tea can make a significant difference in its effectiveness. The optimal window appears to be 30 to 60 minutes before your intended bedtime. This gives the active compounds time to be absorbed and start working, while also allowing the relaxation effects to help you transition into sleep mode. When preparing chamomile tea for blood sugar support, quality matters. Look for organic chamomile flowers or high-quality tea bags. Use about 2 grams of dried chamomile flowers or 2 tea bags per 8 ounces of water. The water temperature is crucial. You want it hot, but not boiling, around 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Boiling water can destroy some of the delicate compounds that make chamomile effective. Steep for 8 to 10 minutes to extract the maximum beneficial compounds. One of the beautiful things about chamomile is that it tastes naturally sweet without any added sugars. This makes it perfect for evening consumption when you want to avoid anything that might spike your blood sugar. If you find the taste too mild, you can enhance it with a small amount of Ceylon cinnamon, which we'll discuss as our second tea, or a slice of fresh ginger. However, chamomile ain't right for everyone. If you're allergic to plants in the Asteraceae family, which includes ragweed, chrysanthemums, marigolds, and daisies, you should avoid chamomile. Some people experience allergic reactions that can range from mild skin irritation to more serious symptoms. Chamomile can also enhance the effects of blood-thinning medications like warfarin. If you're taking anticoagulants, sedatives, or other medications that cause drowsiness, talk to your healthcare provider before adding chamomile to your routine. The herb can potentiate these effects, which might be more than you bargained for. There's also something called cumulative drowsiness to be aware of. While chamomile is generally safe and effective for promoting sleep, some people find that regular use makes them feel groggy in the morning. If this happens to you, try reducing the amount you're using or drinking it earlier in the evening. For most people, chamomile represents an ideal starting point for nighttime blood sugar support. It's gentle, well-researched, readily available, and provides the dual benefit of better sleep and potential glucose regulation. Many people find that after just a few nights of drinking chamomile tea before bed, they're sleeping more soundly and waking up feeling more refreshed. Tea number 2. Cinnamon, the aromatic glucose regulator of chamomile, is the gentle guardian of your nighttime routine. Then cinnamon tea is the aromatic powerhouse that brings serious scientific credentials to your blood sugar support arsenal. But not all cinnamon is created equal, and understanding the difference could be crucial for both safety and effectiveness. There are 2 main types of cinnamon available in most markets: Ceylon cinnamon, often called true cinnamon, and cassia cinnamon, which is more common and less expensive. Both contain beneficial compounds for blood sugar management, but they have important differences that affect how you should use them. Cassia cinnamon contains higher levels of cinnamaldehyde, the compound responsible for cinnamon's distinctive flavor and many of its therapeutic effects. However, it also contains significant amounts of coumarin, a compound that can be harmful to the liver in large quantities. Ceylon cinnamon has lower levels of coumarin, but that still provides beneficial effects for blood sugar management. The research on cinnamon and blood sugar control is extensive and impressive. A meta-analysis published in the Annals of Family Medicine reviewed multiple studies involving over 500 people with diabetes and found that cinnamon consumption was associated with significant reductions in fasting blood glucose, total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and triglycerides. The most effective dose appeared to be between 1 and 6 grams daily, which translates to about half a teaspoon to 3 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. But what exactly is cinnamon doing in your body to produce these effects? The primary active compounds in cinnamon, including cinnamaldehyde, cinnamic acid, and cinnamate, appear to work through several mechanisms. They can increase glucose uptake by muscle cells, making those cells more efficient at pulling glucose out of your bloodstream. They may also slow down the emptying of your stomach, which helps prevent rapid spikes in blood sugar after meals. Additionally, cinnamon compounds appear to have insulin-like effects. They can activate some of the same cellular pathways that insulin uses, essentially providing your body with additional glucose processing power. This is particularly valuable during the nighttime hours when your natural insulin sensitivity is at its lowest. One of the most intriguing aspects of cinnamon's effects is its impact on what researchers call glucose effectiveness. This refers to your body's ability to clear glucose from the bloodstream independent of insulin. Even if your insulin function imperfect, improved glucose effectiveness means your body has additional ways to manage blood sugar levels. When it comes to preparing cinnamon tea for nighttime blood sugar support, the method matters significantly. The most effective approach is to use whole cinnamon sticks rather than ground cinnamon powder. This ensures you're getting the full spectrum of beneficial compounds without any additives or processing agents that might be present in powdered forms. To prepare cinnamon tea, start with 1 Ceylon cinnamon stick or half a cassia cinnamon stick per 8 to 10 ounces of water. Bring the water to a gentle boil, then reduce the heat and let the cinnamon simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. The longer simmering time is necessary to extract the beneficial compounds from the tough bark. The resulting tea should have a warm, sweet flavor with just a hint of spice. Unlike many herbal teas, cinnamon tea actually improves with a longer steeping time, so don't worry about overbrewing it. You can even prepare a larger batch and reheat portions as needed throughout the week. The timing of cinnamon tea consumption can be tailored to your specific needs and schedule. If you tend to have elevated blood sugar readings in the morning, drinking cinnamon tea about an hour after dinner can help your body process the evening meal more effectively and may help prevent overnight glucose elevation. Some people prefer to drink cinnamon tea immediately before bed, and there's good research to support this timing as well. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science found that consuming cinnamon before sleep helped reduce fasting glucose levels the following morning. The researchers theorized that cinnamon's effects on insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolism continue working throughout the night. However, cinnamon tea ain't without its precautions. The coumarin content in cassia cinnamon means you should be cautious about daily consumption, especially if you're using larger amounts. The European Food Safety Authority suggests limiting coumarin intake to no more than 0.1 milligrams per kilogram of body weight daily. For a 150-pound person, this translates to about 1 teaspoon of cassia cinnamon powder daily. If you're taking blood-thinning medications, cinnamon can potentiate their effects. The same coumarin compounds that can be problematic for liver health also have anticoagulant properties. This means cinnamon could increase your risk of bleeding if combined with medications like warfarin or even natural blood thinners like ginkgo biloba. People with liver disease should be particularly cautious with cinnamon consumption. While the amounts used in culinary applications are generally safe, regular consumption of therapeutic doses could potentially worsen existing liver problems. There's also the potential for allergic reactions. Some people are sensitive to cinnamaldehyde and may experience mouth irritation, tongue swelling, or digestive upset when consuming cinnamon in tea form. Start with smaller amounts and monitor your body's response. Despite these precautions, cinnamon tea remains one of the most well-researched and effective herbal options for blood sugar support. Its pleasant taste makes it easy to incorporate into your evening routine, and many people find that it satisfies evening cravings for something sweet without actually consuming any sugar. For optimal results, consider combining cinnamon tea with the other teas in our protocol. Cinnamon pairs particularly well with ginger, our fourth tea, creating a warming, digestive blend that can be especially beneficial after heavier evening meals. Tea number 3, Hibiscus, the ruby red metabolic support moving from the warm, comforting tones of cinnamon to the vibrant ruby red of hibiscus tea. We encounter one of nature's most beautiful and potentially powerful allies for nighttime blood sugar support. Hibiscus sabdariffa, commonly known as roselle or red sorrel, has been used traditionally in many cultures for various health purposes, but modern research is revealing its impressive potential for supporting healthy glucose metabolism and cardiovascular function. The deep red color of hibiscus tea comes from its high concentration of anthocyanins, the same family of compounds that give blueberries, blackberries, and red wine their distinctive colors and many of their health benefits. These anthocyanins are powerful antioxidants, but their benefits extend far beyond simple free radical scavenging. Research published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that hibiscus anthocyanins can significantly improve insulin sensitivity and glucose tolerance. In one study, participants who consumed hibiscus extract daily for 12 weeks showed marked improvements in their glucose response to meals, suggesting that their bodies became more efficient at processing dietary carbohydrates. But what makes hibiscus particularly interesting for our nighttime protocol is its unique combination of effects. Unlike some herbs that target only one aspect of blood sugar control, hibiscus appears to work through multiple complementary mechanisms. First, it can help slow the absorption of carbohydrates in the digestive tract, preventing rapid spikes in blood glucose. Second, it appears to enhance insulin sensitivity at the cellular level. Third, it provides cardiovascular support that can be particularly beneficial for people dealing with metabolic syndrome. This cardiovascular connection is crucial because blood sugar problems rarely exist in isolation. High blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, and blood sugar issues often occur together in what medical professionals call metabolic syndrome. Hibiscus has been extensively studied for its blood pressure lowering effects, with research showing it can be as effective as some prescription medications for mild hypertension. A landmark study published in the Journal of Human Hypertension compared hibiscus tea to the ACE inhibitor, captopril, in people with mild to moderate hypertension. After 4 weeks, hibiscus tea reduced systolic blood pressure by an average of 11.2 points and diastolic pressure by 6.6 points. While captopril was slightly more effective, hibiscus came remarkably close and did so without the side effects commonly associated with blood pressure medications. This blood pressure connection is particularly relevant for nighttime consumption because elevated blood pressure can interfere with sleep quality, and poor sleep, as we've discussed, can worsen blood sugar control. By potentially supporting healthy blood pressure levels, hibiscus may help break this cycle. The antioxidant capacity of hibiscus is truly impressive. Studies have shown that hibiscus tea has higher antioxidant activity than green tea, which is often considered the gold standard for antioxidant beverages. These antioxidants help combat the oxidative stress that chronic high blood sugar can create in your body. Think of oxidative stress as cellular rust. It damages your cells and organs over time, contributing to complications from diabetes and metabolic syndrome. When it comes to preparation, hibiscus tea is both simple and forgiving. You can use either dried hibiscus flowers or pre-made tea bags. If using loose flowers, use about 1 to 2 tablespoons per 8 ounces of water. The flowers should be a deep red color and have a tart, cranberry-like aroma. Bring water to a full boil, then pour it over the hibiscus flowers or tea bags. Unlike more delicate herbs, hibiscus can handle boiling water without losing its beneficial compounds. In fact, the higher temperature helps extract more of the anthocyanins that give the tea its color and therapeutic properties. Steep for at least 10 minutes, though you can go longer if you prefer a stronger flavor. The tea will develop a beautiful ruby red color and a tart, slightly astringent taste that many people compare to unsweetened cranberry juice. If you find the tartness too intense, you can add a small amount of stevia or monk fruit sweetener, but avoid adding sugar or honey, which would counteract the blood sugar benefits you're seeking. One of the unique advantages of hibiscus tea is that it's delicious both hot and cold. You can prepare it hot in the evening, or you can cold brew it by steeping the flowers in cold water for several hours. This makes it versatile for different seasons and preferences. The optimal timing for hibiscus tea depends on your specific goals and tolerance. If you're dealing with elevated blood pressure in addition to blood sugar concerns, drinking hibiscus tea about an hour after dinner can help your body process the evening meal while providing cardiovascular support during the night. However, there's one important consideration with hibiscus tea timing. It has mild diuretic properties. This means it can increase urination, which might not be ideal right before bed for some people. If you're concerned about nighttime bathroom trips, try drinking hibiscus tea earlier in the evening, perhaps 2 hours before bedtime. The diuretic effects, while mild, are worth considering for several reasons. First, they can help reduce water retention, which some people experience with blood sugar fluctuations. Second, the gentle diuretic action may help support kidney function, which is particularly important for people managing diabetes or prediabetes, as these conditions can put additional strain on the kidneys over time. However, this diuretic effect also means you need to be careful if you're taking certain medications. If you're on prescription diuretics, ACE inhibitors, or other blood pressure medications, hibiscus could potentially enhance their effects. While this might sound beneficial, it could lead to blood pressure dropping to low or electrolyte imbalances. There are a few other precautions to keep in mind with hibiscus tea. Some people experience stomach upset when drinking hibiscus on an empty stomach, so it's generally better consumed after meals. The natural acids in hibiscus can also potentially interact with certain medications, particularly those that are pH sensitive. If you're taking chloroquine or other antimalarial medications, you should avoid hibiscus tea, as it can interfere with these drugs' effectiveness. There's also some evidence that hibiscus might affect the metabolism of certain medications processed by the liver, though this interaction is not well established and likely requires large amounts of hibiscus consumption. For most people, hibiscus tea represents an excellent addition to a nighttime blood sugar support routine. Its combination of glucose-regulating effects, cardiovascular support, and high antioxidant content makes it a multifunctional addition to your evening ritual. The beautiful color and refreshing taste also make it a pleasure to drink, which is important for any habit you want to maintain long-term. Many people find that hibiscus tea helps them feel more satisfied in the evening, reducing cravings for late-night snacks that could disrupt blood sugar control. The natural tartness provides a flavor satisfaction that can help signal to your brain that you're done eating for the day. Tea number 4, ginger. The warming digestive powerhouse is. We move to our fourth tea. We encounter ginger, a root that's been treasured for thousands of years, not just for its distinctive warming flavor, but for its remarkable medicinal properties. While many people think of ginger primarily a digestive aid or nausea remedy, emerging research reveals that this humble root may be one of nature's most effective tools for supporting healthy blood sugar levels and improving insulin sensitivity. Ginger, scientifically known as Zingiber officinale, contains over 400 different chemical compounds, but the ones most relevant to our blood sugar discussion, the gingerols and chagols. These compounds are responsible for ginger's characteristic spicy bite and its impressive therapeutic effects. Fresh ginger contains primarily gingerols, while dried ginger has higher concentrations of chagols, which are formed when gingerols are exposed to heat or acid. The research on ginger and blood sugar control has been building steadily over the past decade, with results that are both consistent and impressive. A comprehensive review published in Evidence-Based Complementary and Alternative Medicine analyzed multiple clinical trials involving ginger supplementation in people with type 2 diabetes. The researchers found that ginger consumption was associated with significant improvements in fasting blood glucose, HbA1c levels, and insulin resistance markers. But what makes these findings particularly relevant to our nighttime protocol? How ginger achieves these effects. Unlike medications that work through single pathways, ginger appears to support blood sugar control through multiple complementary mechanisms, making it particularly valuable for overnight glucose management. First, ginger has remarkable effects on gastric motility, the rate at which your stomach empties its contents into your small intestine. Slow gastric emptying can lead to unpredictable blood sugar spikes as partially digested food sits in your stomach and then suddenly moves into your intestine hours later. This is particularly problematic during sleep, when your body's ability to respond to glucose spikes is naturally diminished. Research published in the European Journal of Gastroenterology found that ginger can normalize gastric emptying rates, helping ensure that evening meals are processed more efficiently and predictably. This means less likelihood of middle of the night or early morning blood sugar spikes from delayed digestion. Second, ginger appears to enhance insulin sensitivity at the cellular level. Studies have shown that ginger compounds can increase glucose uptake by muscle cells, essentially making these cells more efficient at pulling glucose out of the bloodstream. This is particularly valuable during the overnight hours when muscle insulin sensitivity naturally decreases due to circadian rhythm changes. Third, ginger has potent anti-inflammatory properties that may help address one of the underlying drivers of insulin resistance. Chronic low-grade inflammation interferes with insulin signaling pathways, making it harder for your cells to respond appropriately to insulin. The gingerols in ginger have been shown to inhibit several inflammatory pathways, potentially creating a more favorable environment for healthy glucose metabolism. The anti-inflammatory effects of ginger extend beyond just blood sugar control. Research suggests that chronic inflammation is a key factor in many of the complications associated with diabetes, including cardiovascular disease, kidney damage, and nerve problems. By helping to reduce systemic inflammation, ginger may provide protective benefits that extend far beyond blood sugar management. One of the most intriguing aspects of ginger's effects is its impact on what researchers call postprandial glucose response, essentially, how your blood sugar behaves after eating. A study published in the Journal of Ethnic Foods found that consuming ginger with meals significantly reduced the post-meal glucose spike and helped blood sugar return to baseline levels more quickly. This effect is particularly relevant for evening consumption because late-day meals often contribute to overnight blood sugar elevation. Many people eat their largest meal of the day at dinner, and if this meal is high in carbohydrates or consumed later in the evening, it can lead to prolonged glucose elevation that persists into the sleep hours. When preparing ginger tea for nighttime blood sugar support, fresh ginger root is generally preferred over dried ginger powder. Fresh ginger contains higher levels of gingerols and provides a more complex flavor profile. Start with a piece of fresh ginger root about 1 inch long and half an inch thick. Peel the outer skin with a spoon or vegetable peeler, then slice the ginger into thin pieces. The preparation method is crucial for extracting ginger's beneficial compounds. Add the sliced ginger to water and bring it to a gentle boil. Reduce the heat and let it simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. The longer simmering time is necessary because ginger's active compounds are relatively heat stable and require sustained heat exposure for optimal extraction. The resulting tea should have a warm, spicy flavor with a pleasant bite. If you find pure ginger tea too intense, it pairs beautifully with cinnamon, creating a warming blend that combines the blood sugar benefits of both spices. You can also add a small slice of fresh lemon, which not only enhances the flavor, but may provide additional vitamin C and antioxidants. The timing of ginger tea consumption can be tailored to your specific needs and digestive patterns. If you tend to eat dinner later in the evening, drinking ginger tea about 30 minutes after your meal can help optimize digestion and glucose processing. The warmth of the tea can also signal to your body that it's time to start winding down for sleep. However, ginger tea can also be effective when consumed an hour or two before bedtime, particularly if you're dealing with general blood sugar instability or insulin resistance. The sustained release of ginger's active compounds can provide overnight support for glucose metabolism. There are several important precautions to consider with ginger consumption, particularly if you're taking certain medications or have specific health conditions. Ginger has natural blood-thinning properties, which means it can enhance the effects of anticoagulant medications like warfarin, heparin, or even aspirin. If you're taking any blood-thinning medications, consult with your healthcare provider before adding regular ginger consumption to your routine. People with gallstones should exercise caution with ginger, as it can stimulate bile production and potentially trigger gallbladder contractions. While this is generally beneficial for digestion, it could potentially cause problems for people with existing gallbladder issues. Ginger can also increase stomach acid production, which is generally helpful for digestion, but could potentially worsen symptoms in people with active gastroesophageal reflux disease or peptic ulcers. If you have these conditions, start with very small amounts of ginger and monitor your symptoms carefully. Some people experience heartburn or stomach upset when consuming ginger on an empty stomach. For this reason, it's generally better to consume ginger tea after meals rather than first thing in the morning or late at night on an empty stomach. There's also a consideration around ginger's potential effects on blood pressure. While ginger can have mild blood pressure lowering effects, which is generally beneficial, people taking blood pressure medications should monitor their levels carefully when adding ginger to their routine. Despite these precautions, ginger tea represents one of the most well-researched and effective herbal options for blood sugar support. Its combination of digestive benefits, anti-inflammatory effects, and direct glucose-regulating properties make it a valuable addition to any nighttime blood sugar management protocol. Many people find that ginger tea helps them feel more satisfied and settled after evening meals, reducing the likelihood of late-night snacking that can disrupt blood sugar control. The warming sensation can also be particularly comforting during colder months, making your evening routine something to look forward to rather than just another health obligation. Tea number 5. Mulberry leaf, the carbohydrate absorption manager. Fifth tea takes us into more specialized territory with mulberry leaf tea, derived from the leaves of the Morus alba tree. While mulberry leaves might not be as familiar to Western audiences as chamomile or ginger, they represent one of the most scientifically validated herbal approaches to blood sugar management, with a mechanism of action that's both unique and particularly relevant to nighttime glucose control. The secret to mulberry leaf's effectiveness lies in a compound called 1-deoxynitrogeramycin, or DNJ for short. This natural compound has a remarkable ability to inhibit alpha-glucosidase, an enzyme responsible for breaking down complex carbohydrates into simple sugars that can be absorbed into your bloodstream. Think of alpha-glucosidase as molecular scissors that cut long carbohydrate chains into smaller pieces that your body can absorb. DNJ essentially dulls these scissors, slowing down the process. This mechanism is particularly valuable for managing post-meal blood sugar spikes, which can be especially problematic when they occur in the evening. Late-day carbohydrate consumption can lead to prolonged glucose elevation that persists well into the night, contributing to poor sleep quality and morning glucose elevation. The research on mulberry leaf and blood sugar control, extensive and impressive. A randomized controlled trial published in Diabetes Care followed people with type 2 diabetes who consumed mulberry leaf extract before meals for 3 months. The results showed significant improvements in post-meal glucose levels, with some participants experiencing reductions in glucose spikes of up to 30%. But what makes mulberry leaf particularly interesting for our nighttime protocol is that its effects are most pronounced when consumed in relation to carbohydrate intake. Unlike some of our other teas that provide general metabolic support, mulberry leaf tea works best when timed strategically around meals, making it ideal for evening consumption after dinner. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Biochemistry and Nutrition found that consuming mulberry leaf extract 30 minutes before a carbohydrate-rich meal reduced post-meal glucose elevation by an average of 23% compared to a placebo. The effect was dose-dependent, meaning higher amounts of mulberry leaf produce greater glucose lowering effects, up to a point of optimal effectiveness. The beauty of mulberry leaf's mechanism is that it doesn't interfere with your body's natural insulin production or sensitivity. Instead, it simply slows down the rate at which carbohydrates are converted to glucose and absorbed into your bloodstream. This creates a more gradual, sustained release of glucose that your body can handle more easily, particularly during the overnight hours when insulin sensitivity is naturally reduced. This gradual release effect can be particularly beneficial for people who experience what's known as reactive hypoglycemia, a condition where blood sugar drops rapidly several hours after eating, often causing nighttime awakening, sweating, or anxiety. By slowing carbohydrate absorption, mulberry leaf tea can help create more stable, sustained glucose levels that are less likely to cause these dramatic swings. Mulberry leaf tea also contains other beneficial compounds beyond DNJ, including quercetin, rutin, and various flavonoids that contribute to its overall health benefits. These compounds provide antioxidant support and may help protect blood vessels from the damage that can occur with chronic blood sugar elevation. Research has also shown that mulberry leaf have beneficial effects on cholesterol levels, which, is particularly relevant since many people dealing with blood sugar issues also have cholesterol concerns. A study published in Biomed Research International found that regular mulberry leaf consumption was associated with improvements in both total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol levels. When it comes to preparing mulberry leaf tea, you'll typically find it available in tea bags or as loose dried leaves. The quality can vary significantly between products, so look for organic sources that specifically mention the DNJ content. Higher quality mulberry leaf products will often standardize their DNJ content to ensure consistent potency. To prepare mulberry leaf tea, use 1 tea bag or approximately 2 grams of loose leaves per 8 ounces of water. Unlike some of our other teas, mulberry leaf benefits from a relatively short steeping time. About 5 to 7 minutes is optimal. Steeping too long can extract bitter compounds that don't add to the therapeutic benefits and can make the tea less pleasant to drink. The resulting tea has a mild, slightly sweet flavor that many people find pleasant. Unlike ginger or hibiscus, which have distinctive taste profiles, mulberry leaf tea is quite neutral, making it easy to incorporate into your routine even if you're sensitive to strong flavors. The timing of mulberry leaf tea consumption is crucial for optimal effectiveness. The best approach is to drink it immediately after dinner or within 1 hour of your evening meal. This timing allows the DNJ compounds to be present in your digestive system when you're processing the carbohydrates from your meal. Some people prefer to drink mulberry leaf tea about 30 minutes before dinner, which can provide maximum carbohydrate blocking effects. However, this requires more planning and might not be practical for everyone's schedule. The after-dinner timing is more convenient and still provides significant benefits. One important consideration with mulberry leaf tea is its potential to cause hypoglycemia, particularly if you're taking medications that lower blood sugar. Because mulberry leaf can significantly reduce post-meal glucose spikes, it's possible for blood sugar to drop to low if you're also taking insulin, sulfonylureas, or other glucose-lowering medications. If you're taking any diabetes medications, it's essential to work with your healthcare provider before adding mulberry leaf tea to your routine. You may need to monitor your blood sugar more carefully and potentially adjust your medication doses to prevent hypoglycemia. This interaction potential is both a testament to mulberry leaf's effectiveness and a reminder that herbal remedies can have real physiological effects. The same mechanism that makes mulberry leaf effective for blood sugar management also means it can interact with medications designed to do similar things. People with digestive sensitivities should start with smaller amounts of mulberry leaf tea and gradually increase as tolerated. Some people experience mild digestive upset, including gas or bloating, when first starting mulberry leaf consumption. These effects are usually temporary and resolve as your digestive system adjusts. There is also some evidence that very high doses of mulberry leaf extract could potentially interfere with the absorption of other nutrients, particularly fat-soluble vitamins. However, this concern is primarily relevant to concentrated extracts rather than tea preparations, and the amounts typically consumed in tea form are unlikely to cause nutrient absorption issues. Pregnant and breastfeeding women should avoid mulberry leaf tea, as there isn't sufficient research on its safety during these periods. Additionally, people scheduled for surgery should discontinue mulberry leaf consumption at least 2 weeks before their procedure, as it could potentially interfere with blood sugar control during and after surgery. For most people dealing with blood sugar challenges, mulberry leaf tea represents a valuable tool for managing evening glucose elevation. Its unique mechanism of action makes it particularly effective for people who struggle with post-dinner glucose spikes or those who find their blood sugar elevated in the morning after eating later in the evening. Tea number 6. Fenugreek seed. The fiber-rich glucose guardianas we reach our 6th tea in this evening blood sugar support protocol. We encounter fenugreek, a fascinating seed that has been used for both culinary and medicinal purposes for over 4,000 years. Native to the Mediterranean region and Western Asia, fenugreek seeds contain a unique combination of compounds that make them particularly effective for blood sugar management, especially when consumed as an evening tea. Fenugreek seeds, scientifically known as Trigonella fenugreecum, are rich in soluble fiber, particularly a type called galactomannan. This fiber has the remarkable ability to form a gel-like substance when it comes into contact with water in your digestive system. Think of it as creating a natural, internal time-release system for any carbohydrates you've consumed. But fenugreek's blood sugar benefits extend far beyond its fiber content. The seeds contain an amino acid called 4-hydroxysilucin, which has been shown to have insulin-like effects. Research suggests that this compound can enhance insulin sensitivity and may even stimulate insulin production when blood glucose levels are elevated. This dual action makes fenugreek particularly valuable for managing the complex blood sugar challenges that can occur during overnight hours. The research on fenugreek and blood sugar control is both extensive and impressive. A landmark study, published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, followed people with type 2 diabetes who consumed fenugreek seed powder daily for 2 months. The participants experienced significant reductions in fasting blood glucose, post-meal glucose spikes, and HbA1c levels. Perhaps most importantly for our nighttime protocol, they also showed improvements in insulin sensitivity, meaning their bodies became more efficient at processing glucose. What makes fenugreek particularly interesting for evening consumption is how its effects unfold over time. Unlike some interventions that provide immediate but short-lived benefits, fenugreek appears to provide sustained glucose management support that can last for hours. This is due to the combination of its fiber content, which slows digestion and absorption, and its active compounds, which continue to influence glucose metabolism long after consumption. A study published in Phytotherapy Research found that fenugreek consumption in the evening helped stabilize overnight glucose levels and reduced morning fasting glucose readings. The researchers theorize that fenugreek's multiple mechanisms of action created a sustained glucose stabilizing effect that persisted throughout the night. The galactomannan fiber in fenugreek seeds is particularly effective at slowing the absorption of carbohydrates from your digestive tract. When this fiber comes into contact with water, it expands and forms a viscous gel that coats the intestinal lining. This gel barrier slows the passage of nutrients, including glucose, from your intestine into your bloodstream, creating a more gradual and manageable release of glucose. This mechanism is especially valuable for people who struggle with delayed gastric emptying or unpredictable blood sugar patterns. Some people find that food they eat at dinner continues to affect their blood sugar well into the night, causing sleep disruptions and morning glucose elevation. Fenugreek's ability to create more predictable, sustained nutrient release can help address this challenge. Beyond its glucose-regulating effects, fenugreek has been shown to have beneficial impacts on cholesterol levels and overall cardiovascular health. A comprehensive review published in the International Journal of Medical Sciences found that regular fenugreek consumption was associated with significant reductions in total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and triglycerides. This cardiovascular support is particularly relevant since blood sugar issues and heart disease often occur together. Fenugreek also contains compounds called saponins, which may help reduce the absorption of cholesterol from the digestive tract. These same saponins may contribute to fenugreek's blood sugar benefits by influencing hormone production and cellular metabolism. When it comes to preparing fenugreek seed tea, the process requires a bit more attention than some of our other teas, because the seeds need to release their beneficial compounds effectively. Start with 1 teaspoon of whole fenugreek seeds per 8 ounces of water. The seeds should be a golden yellow color and have a distinctive, slightly sweet aroma reminiscent of maple syrup. For optimal extraction, it's helpful to lightly crush or grind the seeds before brewing. You can do this with a mortar and pestle, coffee grinder, or even by placing the seeds in a sealed bag and gently crushing them with a rolling pin. This breaks open the seed coat and allows better access to the internal compounds. Bring water to a boil, then add the crushed fenugreek seeds. Reduce the heat and let the mixture simmer gently for 10 to 15 minutes. The longer brewing time is necessary to fully extract the soluble fiber and active compounds from the seeds. You can also use a cold brewing method by soaking the seeds in water for several hours or overnight, though this will produce a milder flavor and potentially lower concentrations of active compounds. The resulting tea has a distinctive flavor that many people describe as nutty, sweet, and slightly bitter. Some compare it to maple syrup or butterscotch, though it's much less sweet than these flavors might suggest. If you find the taste too strong, you can start with smaller amounts of seeds and gradually increase as you become accustomed to the flavor. The timing of fenugreek tea consumption can be adjusted based on your specific needs and tolerance. Many people find that drinking fenugreek tea about an hour after dinner provides optimal benefits for overnight blood sugar control. This timing allows the fiber to begin working on any remaining food in your digestive system while also providing sustained effects throughout the night. However, there are several important considerations to keep in mind with fenugreek consumption. First, because of its high fiber content and gel-forming properties, fenugreek can potentially interfere with the absorption of medications if taken at the same time. If you're taking any medications, particularly diabetes medications, blood thinners, or thyroid medications, space them at least 2 hours apart from fenugreek consumption. The blood sugar lowering effects of fenugreek can be quite significant, which means there's a risk of hypoglycemia if you're also taking glucose-lowering medications. This is particularly important to consider because fenugreek's effects can be cumulative, building up over several days or weeks of regular consumption. Work with your healthcare provider to monitor your blood sugar carefully when adding fenugreek to your routine, and be prepared to adjust medication doses if necessary. Fenugreek can also have mild blood thinning effects, which could enhance the effects of anticoagulant medications like warfarin. If you're taking blood thinners, regular monitoring of your clotting parameters may be necessary when adding fenugreek to your routine. Some people experience digestive side effects when first starting fenugreek consumption, including gas, bloating, or diarrhea. These effects are usually related to the high fiber content and typically resolve as your digestive system adjusts. Starting with smaller amounts and gradually increasing can help minimize these issues. There's also a distinctive odor consideration. With fenugreek, regular consumption can cause your sweat and urine to develop a maple syrup-like smell. While this isn't harmful, it can be surprising if you're not expecting it. This effect is due to a compound called sodolone, which is also responsible for part of fenugreek's distinctive taste. Pregnant women should avoid fenugreek consumption, as it has traditionally been used to stimulate uterine contractions and could potentially increase the risk of miscarriage or premature labor. There isn't sufficient research on fenugreek's safety during breastfeeding, so nursing mothers should also exercise caution. People with existing thyroid conditions should be aware that fenugreek might affect thyroid hormone levels. While the research is limited, some studies suggest that fenugreek could potentially interfere with thyroid function, particularly in people taking thyroid medications. Despite these precautions, fenugreek tea represents one of the most scientifically validated herbal approaches to blood sugar management. Its unique combination of fiber, amino acids, and other bioactive compounds provides multiple pathways for glucose regulation, making it particularly effective for people dealing with complex blood sugar challenges. Many people find that fenugreek tea helps them feel more satisfied in the evening, reducing cravings for late-night snacks. The fiber content provides a sense of fullness that can help prevent overeating, while the blood sugar stabilizing effects help maintain steady energy levels throughout the night. Tea number 7. Rooibos, the caffeine-free antioxidant powerhouse. Your final tea in this comprehensive nighttime blood sugar support protocol brings us to Rooibos, a unique South African herb that offers a perfect combination of blood sugar benefits, antioxidant power, and evening-friendly properties. Rooibos, pronounced Rooibos and scientifically known as Aspalathus linearis, translates to red bush in Afrikaans, referring to the distinctive red color the leaves develop during processing. What makes Rooibos particularly valuable for our evening protocol is that it's naturally caffeine-free, unlike traditional teas from the Camellia sinensis plant. This means you can enjoy its benefits without worrying about sleep disruption, making it an ideal choice for later evening consumption or for people who are particularly sensitive to stimulants. But don't let its gentle nature fool you. Rooibos contains a unique antioxidant called aspalathin that has been showing remarkable promise in blood sugar research. Aspalathin belongs to a class of compounds called dihydrochalcones, and it's found almost exclusively in Rooibos. This makes Rooibos a truly unique source of this potentially powerful glucose-regulating compound. Research published in the journal Phytomedicine found that aspalathin can significantly improve glucose tolerance and insulin sensitivity. In laboratory studies, aspalathin demonstrated the ability to increase glucose uptake by muscle cells while simultaneously reducing glucose production by liver cells. This dual action is particularly valuable for nighttime blood sugar control, as it addresses both sides of the glucose balance equation. What's particularly fascinating about aspalathin is its mechanism of action. Unlike some compounds that work through single pathways, aspalathin appears to influence multiple aspects of glucose metabolism simultaneously. It can activate AMP-activated protein kinase, often called the body's master metabolic switch, which helps cells become more efficient at using glucose for energy rather than storing it as fat. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Traditional and Complementary Medicine followed people with prediabetes who consumed Rooibos tea daily. For 6 weeks, the participants showed significant improvements in insulin sensitivity and glucose tolerance, with some individuals showing improvements comparable to those seen with certain diabetes medications. But Rooibos offers benefits that extend far beyond blood sugar control. The tea contains an impressive array of antioxidants, including quercetin, luteolin, and orientin, in addition to the unique aspalathin. These antioxidants work together to combat oxidative stress, which is a major contributor to insulin resistance and diabetic complications. Oxidative stress occurs when your body produces more free radicals than it can neutralize with antioxidants. This imbalance can damage cells, proteins, and DNA, contributing to inflammation and disease progression. For people dealing with blood sugar issues, oxidative stress can create a vicious cycle where high glucose levels generate more free radicals, which then worsen insulin resistance and glucose control. The antioxidant capacity of Rooibos is truly impressive. Studies have shown that regular Rooibos consumption can significantly increase the antioxidant status of the blood, providing system-wide protection against oxidative damage. This protection is particularly valuable during sleep, when your body's natural repair and regeneration processes are most active. Rooibos also contains minerals that are beneficial for glucose metabolism, including manganese, iron, and fluoride. Manganese, in particular, plays a crucial role in carbohydrate metabolism and is a cofactor for several enzymes involved in glucose processing. Many people with diabetes or metabolic syndrome have suboptimal manganese levels, making Rooibos a potentially valuable source of this important mineral. One of the most appealing aspects of Rooibos for evening consumption is its naturally sweet flavor. Unlike many herbal teas that can be bitter or require sweetening, Rooibos has a naturally pleasant, slightly vanilla-like taste with subtle honey notes. This makes it an excellent choice for people who crave something sweet in the evening, but want to avoid actual sugars that could disrupt blood glucose control. The natural sweetness of Rooibos comes from its low tannin content compared to traditional teas. Tannins are the compounds responsible for the bitter, astringent taste in black and green teas. Because Rooibos is naturally low in tannins, it doesn't become bitter even with longer steeping times, making it very forgiving to prepare. When preparing Rooibos tea for nighttime blood sugar support, the process is refreshingly simple. Use 1 tea bag or approximately 1 teaspoon of loose Rooibos per 8 ounces of water. Bring water to a full boil, then pour it over the Rooibos. Unlike more delicate herbs, Rooibos can handle boiling water without losing its beneficial compounds. Steep the tea for 5 to 7 minutes for optimal flavor and compound extraction. The tea will develop a beautiful reddish-brown color and release a sweet, comforting aroma. Because of its low tannin content, you can steep Rooibos for longer periods without making it bitter. So don't worry if you forget about it for an extra few minutes. The versatility of Rooibos makes it an excellent choice for people who want to maintain their evening tea routine regardless of the season. It's delicious hot during colder months and equally refreshing when served cold during warmer weather. You can prepare larger batches and store them in the refrigerator for convenient consumption throughout the week. Rooibos also blends beautifully with other ingredients. You can enhance its natural sweetness with a small amount of Ceylon cinnamon, or add a slice of fresh ginger for additional blood sugar benefits. Some people enjoy Rooibos with a splash of unsweetened almond milk, creating a comforting, latte-like beverage that satisfies evening cravings without disrupting blood glucose control. The timing of Rooibos consumption is flexible due to its caffeine-free nature. You can drink it immediately after dinner, an hour before bed, or even if you wake up during the night and want something comforting. This flexibility makes Rooibos an excellent choice for people with varying schedules or those who prefer not to be tied to strict timing protocols. One of the most significant advantages of Rooibos is its exceptional safety profile. Unlike some of our other teas that require careful consideration of timing, dosage, or potential interactions, Rooibos is remarkably well tolerated by most people. There are very few reported side effects or drug interactions, making it suitable for a wide range of individuals. However, there are a few minor considerations to keep in mind. Rooibos contains small amounts of oxalates, which could potentially be a concern for people with a history of kidney stones, though the levels are much lower than in many other foods and teas. If you have a history of calcium oxalate kidney stones, you may want to moderate your Rooibos consumption or discuss it with your healthcare provider. Some commercial Rooibos products contain added flavors or sweeteners that could counteract the blood sugar benefits you're seeking. When choosing Rooibos tea, look for pure, unflavored varieties, preferably organic, to ensure you're getting the maximum therapeutic benefit without unwanted additives. There's also a consideration around iron absorption. Like other teas, Rooibos contains compounds that can reduce iron absorption from foods. If you have iron deficiency anemia or are taking iron supplements, it's best to consume Rooibos between meals rather than with iron-rich foods or supplements. For most people, Rooibos tea represents an ideal conclusion to our 7T protocol. Its combination of blood sugar benefits, antioxidant protection, natural sweetness, and caffeine-free nature makes it perfect for establishing a relaxing evening routine that supports both metabolic health and quality sleep. Many people find that Rooibos helps them transition from the activities of the day into a more restful evening mindset. The ritual of preparing and sipping warm Rooibos tea can serve as a signal to your body and mind that it's time to begin winding down, supporting the natural circadian rhythms that are so important for healthy glucose metabolism. Creating your 7-night tea rotation protocol. Know that we've explored each of these 7 remarkable teas in detail. It's time to put this knowledge into action with a practical, sustainable protocol that can become a cornerstone of your evening routine. The beauty of having 7 different teas is that you can create a weekly rotation that provides variety while ensuring you receive the full spectrum of blood sugar support benefits throughout the week. The 7 Nights 7 Teas protocol is designed to be simple, flexible, and effective. By rotating through different teas each night, you prevent your body from becoming too accustomed to any single compound while ensuring you receive diverse therapeutic benefits. This rotation approach also keeps your evening routine interesting and sustainable over the long term. Here's the suggested weekly rotation, though you should feel free to adjust the order based on your personal preferences, schedule, and response to each tea. Monday begins with Chamomile, our gentle evening guardian that sets the stage for relaxation and improved sleep quality. The calming effects of chamomile make it an excellent way to transition from the potential stress of beginning a new week into a peaceful evening routine. Tuesday features cinnamon tea, bringing its powerful glucose-regulating properties to help manage any midweek dietary indulgences or stress-related blood sugar fluctuations. The warming, comforting nature of cinnamon can provide emotional satisfaction that helps prevent late evening snacking. Wednesday introduces hibiscus tea, with its beautiful ruby color and cardiovascular support benefits. Midweek is often when stress levels peak, making hibiscus's blood pressure supporting properties particularly valuable. The natural tartness can also provide a refreshing change of pace from the sweeter teas. Thursday brings ginger tea, with its powerful digestive and anti-inflammatory benefits. By Thursday, many people have accumulated stress and may benefit from ginger's warming, settling effects on both digestion and overall well-being. Friday features mulberry leaf tea, strategically placed at the end of the work week when people often eat larger or later dinners. Mulberry leaf's carbohydrate absorption slowing properties make it ideal for managing weekend dining indulgences. Saturday calls for Rooibos tea. With its naturally sweet flavor and comprehensive antioxidant support, weekend evenings are perfect for the comforting, dessert-like qualities of Rooibos, satisfying cravings for something sweet without compromising blood sugar control. Sunday concludes the week with Fenugreek tea, providing sustained overnight support as you prepare for another week ahead. The fiber-rich, stabilizing effects of Fenugreek can help ensure steady blood sugar levels as you transition back into your weekly routine. This rotation is merely a suggestion, and you should feel free to modify it based on your individual needs, preferences, and responses. Some people may find certain teas more effective for their specific situation and may want to use those more frequently. Others may discover that certain teas work better on particular days based on their schedule, meal timing, or stress levels. The key to success with this protocol is consistency and mindful observation. Try to maintain the routine for at least 4 weeks to give your body time to adapt and for you to observe meaningful patterns in your blood sugar readings and sleep quality. Keep a simple log noting which tea you consumed, the time you drank it, your sleep quality, and your morning fasting glucose reading if you monitor it. When preparing your teas, consistency in preparation method and timing will help you achieve the most reliable results. Try to drink your chosen tea at approximately the same time each evening, ideally between 30 minutes and 2 hours after dinner. Depending on the specific tea and your personal schedule, the amount of tea you prepare can be adjusted based on your preferences and tolerance. Most people find that 8 to 10 ounces provides optimal benefits without causing excessive nighttime bathroom trips. If you're concerned about sleep disruption from fluid intake, you can prepare smaller amounts or drink your tea earlier in the evening. Temperature preference is entirely personal. All of these teas provide benefits whether consumed hot or at room temperature. Some people prefer the warming, comforting effects of hot tea, especially during colder months. Others find that room temperature or even chilled teas are more appealing, particularly during warmer weather. Optimizing your evening routine for maximum blood sugar benefits. Creating an effective evening routine goes beyond simply drinking the Right tea. To maximize the blood sugar benefits of our 7-tea protocol, it's important to understand how these teas fit into the broader context of evening habits that support healthy glucose metabolism and quality sleep. The concept of the 3-2-1 rule provides an excellent framework for structuring your evening routine. This rule suggests stopping large meals 3 hours before bedtime, avoiding alcohol 2 hours before sleep, and eliminating screen time 1 hour before you plan to go to sleep. Your chosen tea can serve as the perfect bridge between these phases, helping to signal to your body that it's time to transition into rest and recovery mode. The 3-hour rule for large meals is particularly important for blood sugar management. When you eat large amounts of food, especially carbohydrates, close to bedtime, your body is forced to process these nutrients during hours when insulin sensitivity is naturally reduced. This can lead to prolonged glucose elevation, sleep disruption, and morning glucose spikes. By finishing substantial food intake 3 hours before sleep, you give your digestive system time to process your meal effectively while you're still upright and active. This positioning also allows your chosen tea to work optimally, as it won't be competing with large amounts of food for digestive resources. The 2-hour alcohol rule is equally important for blood sugar control. While alcohol might initially make you feel sleepy, it significantly disrupts sleep architecture and can cause delayed blood sugar elevation. Alcohol is processed by the liver, which is also responsible for maintaining steady blood sugar levels during sleep. When your liver is busy metabolizing alcohol, it's less able to perform its glucose-regulating functions effectively. Furthermore, alcohol can interact with several of our tea compounds, potentially reducing their effectiveness or causing unexpected reactions. The 2-hour buffer ensures that alcohol has been largely metabolized before you consume your evening tea, allowing the tea's compounds to work without interference. The 1-hour screen-free rule supports healthy circadian rhythms, which are crucial for optimal glucose metabolism. The blue light emitted by phones, tablets, computers, and televisions can suppress melatonin production and disrupt your body's natural sleep-wake cycle. Since insulin sensitivity naturally follows circadian patterns, disrupted sleep cycles can worsen blood sugar control. Your evening tea ritual can serve as the perfect replacement for screen time during this final hour before sleep. The act of preparing and mindfully consuming your tea provides a calming, meditative activity that supports the transition into sleep mode while delivering therapeutic compounds for overnight glucose support. Sweetening considerations are crucial for maintaining the blood sugar benefits of your evening tea routine. The goal is to satisfy any evening cravings for sweetness without actually consuming sugars that could spike your glucose levels. Fortunately, there are several strategies for enhancing the natural flavors of your teas without compromising their therapeutic benefits. Natural spices like Ceylon cinnamon, cardamom, or cloves can add sweetness and complexity to any of your teas while providing additional blood sugar benefits. A small piece of orange peel or a slice of fresh lemon can brighten flavors and provide vitamin C and additional antioxidants. If you absolutely need additional sweetening, stevia and monk fruit sweetener are the best options, as they don't impact blood glucose levels. However, try to use these sparingly and gradually reduce the amount over time to help retrain your taste preferences toward less sweet flavors. Avoid artificial sweeteners in the evening, as some research suggests they may disrupt gut bacteria and potentially affect glucose metabolism. Honey, maple syrup, and other natural sweeteners should also be avoided in evening teas, as they can cause the blood sugar spikes you're trying to prevent. Temperature and timing optimization can significantly impact both the therapeutic benefits and the practical sustainability of your evening tea routine. While hot teas provide comfort and may enhance the absorption of certain compounds, they also increase fluid intake at a time when you want to minimize sleep disruption from bathroom trips. Cold brewing is an excellent option for many of our teas. particularly Hibiscus and Rooibos. You can prepare larger batches by steeping the herbs in cold water for several hours or overnight, then heating individual portions as needed. This approach provides convenience while allowing you to control the temperature and timing of consumption. The mindfulness aspect of your evening tea routine can provide benefits that extend far beyond the therapeutic compounds in the teas themselves. Taking time to mindfully prepare and consume your tea creates a period of calm reflection that can help reduce stress levels and cortisol production, both of which directly impact blood sugar control. Use the tea preparation time as an opportunity to practice deep breathing, gratitude reflection, or gentle meditation. The ritual itself becomes a form of stress management that supports healthy glucose metabolism, while the tea compounds work on a physiological level, tracking your progress and adjusting your protocol. Of the most important aspects of implementing any health intervention is tracking your progress and making adjustments based on your individual response. The 7-tea evening protocol provides an excellent opportunity to develop better awareness of how different interventions affect your blood sugar, sleep quality, and overall well-being. A simple tracking system can provide valuable insights without becoming overwhelming or time-consuming. Consider keeping a basic log that includes the date, which tea you consumed, the time you drank it, your sleep quality rating on a scale of 1 to 10, and your morning fasting glucose reading if you monitor it regularly. Sleep quality tracking is particularly important because improved sleep often precedes improvements in blood sugar control. Pay attention to how quickly you fall asleep, whether you stay asleep throughout the night, how rested you feel upon waking, and your overall energy levels the following day. Morning glucose readings can provide objective feedback about the effectiveness of your evening routine. If you don't currently monitor your blood sugar, consider discussing with your healthcare provider whether this would be beneficial for tracking your progress with the tea protocol. Subjective measures are equally important. Notice changes in evening cravings, stress levels, mood, and overall sense of well-being. Many people find that the simple act of having a calming evening routine improves multiple aspects of their health beyond just blood sugar control. After 4 weeks of consistent use, review your tracking data to identify patterns. You may discover that certain teas work better for you than others, or that specific timing or preparation methods produce better results. This information can help you customize the protocol to maximize benefits for your individual situation. Don't be afraid to make adjustments based on your observations. If you find that one particular tea consistently produces better sleep or blood sugar readings, consider using it more frequently. If another tea causes digestive upset or doesn't seem to provide benefits, you might reduce its frequency or eliminate it from your rotation. Safety considerations and when to consult healthcare providers. While the teas in our protocol are generally safe for most people, it's important to understand when professional medical guidance is necessary and how to recognize potential warning signs that require attention. Anyone taking medications for diabetes, blood pressure, or blood clotting should work closely with their healthcare provider when implementing this protocol. Several of our teas can potentiate the effects of these medications, potentially requiring dosage adjustments to prevent hypoglycemia or other complications. Signs that warrant immediate medical attention include symptoms of hypoglycemia such as excessive sweating, shakiness, confusion, rapid heartbeat, or severe fatigue. If you experience any of these symptoms, check your blood sugar immediately if possible and seek medical care. Persistent digestive upset, allergic reactions, or any symptoms that develop after starting the tea protocol should be discussed with your healthcare provider. While serious adverse reactions are rare with these teas, individual sensitivities can occur. Regular monitoring becomes even more important if you're taking medications that affect blood sugar. Work with your healthcare provider to establish appropriate monitoring schedules and target ranges that account for the potential effects of your evening tea routine. long-term success strategies, and lifestyle integration. Most effective health interventions are those that become sustainable, enjoyable parts of your daily routine, rather than temporary measures. The 70 evening protocol is designed to be flexible and adaptable to different lifestyles, schedules, and preferences. Consider preparing larger batches of your teas on weekends and storing them for convenient reheating during busy weeknights. Many of our teas can be prepared in advance and stored in the refrigerator for several days without losing their beneficial properties. Travel considerations are important for maintaining consistency. Most of these teas are available in convenient tea bag form, making them easy to pack for business trips or vacations. Having a consistent evening routine can actually help minimize the sleep and blood sugar disruptions that often accompany travel. Seasonal variations can keep your routine interesting and aligned with natural preferences. Warming teas like ginger and cinnamon might be more appealing during colder months, while hibiscus and rooibos could be preferred during warmer weather. Building family or household involvement can increase adherence and make the routine more enjoyable. Consider preparing larger batches that other family members can enjoy, or rotate responsibility for tea preparation among household members. The science of synergy, how these teas work together while each of our 7 teas provides individual benefits. For blood sugar management, there's emerging evidence that rotating between different therapeutic compounds may provide synergistic benefits that exceed the sum of their individual effects. The concept of phytochemical diversity suggests that consuming a variety of plant compounds provides broader therapeutic coverage than relying on single compounds. Each of our teas works through different mechanisms: chamomile through stress reduction and sleep improvement, cinnamon through enhanced insulin sensitivity, hibiscus through cardiovascular support, ginger through improved digestion and reduced inflammation, mulberry leaf through carbohydrate absorption management, fenugreek through fiber and amino acid effects, and rooibos through comprehensive antioxidant support. This multi-targeted approach addresses the complex, interconnected factors that influence blood sugar control. Rather than trying to fix blood sugar problems through a single pathway, the rotation protocol supports healthy glucose metabolism through multiple complementary mechanisms. The timing variation also prevents your body from developing tolerance to any single compound while ensuring that you receive sustained support throughout the week. This approach mimics the dietary diversity that characterizes traditional diets and may be more effective than isolated, high-dose interventions. Conclusion: your journey to better blood sugar begins tonight as we reach the end of our comprehensive exploration of these 7 science-backed teas for nighttime blood sugar support. It's important to remember that knowledge without action remains merely information. The power of this protocol lies not in knowing about these teas, but in consistently implementing them as part of a holistic approach to blood sugar management. The beauty of this 7-tea rotation is that it transforms what could be another health obligation into a pleasurable evening ritual that you can look forward to each night. Whether you're dealing with prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or simply want to optimize your metabolic health, these teas offer a gentle, natural approach that works with your body's natural rhythms rather than against them. Start tonight with whichever tea appeals most to you. Pay attention to how it makes you feel, how well you sleep, and how you feel the following morning. Remember that sustainable health improvements often happen gradually, and the most profound changes be subtle at first. Your evening tea ritual can become a cornerstone of healthy blood sugar management, providing not just therapeutic compounds, but also stress reduction, improved sleep quality, and a sense of self-care that supports overall well-being. The simple act of preparing and mindfully consuming these teas creates space for reflection and relaxation in our increasingly busy world. The journey to better blood sugar control doesn't have to be complicated or unpleasant. Sometimes the most powerful interventions are also the most enjoyable. Tonight, as you prepare your first cup of tea from this protocol, you're taking a meaningful step toward better health, one sip at a time. Remember to work with your healthcare provider, track your progress, and be patient with the process. Your body will thank you for this gentle, consistent support, and you may find that these evening tea rituals become one of the most treasured parts of your day. Sweet dreams, stable blood sugar, and here's to your health, naturally,